Hello, my name's Cody Andrew.
I'm Ben Shirley.
I'm one of the owners here at Mountain Marquee.
And welcome to Mountain Marquee.
We are independently owned.
This is our new movie theater that we're opening up in downtown Marion.
Steps off downtown. So right now we're currently tearing out the building. There's a dumpster right here. I'm covered. This being an independent theater, we don't have the means to bankroll, 10 contractors coming in and having this done in a month. We're literally working like 90 hours a week, no days off, going to our normal jobs, coming here and putting in, 10, 12, 8-hour days on top of our normal work schedule. And it gets a little rough, but we're gonna get it done.
So Cody and Samantha grew up here. I just moved last year to live close to my brother who's been here for decades. And he's told me that for the last 6 years, Marion doesn't have a movie theater. And one of the projects he's been dangling in front of me to get me to move down here has been to open up a movie theater.
Part of our goal here is to not only open up a movie theater, we're not just in this to make money, but we're in this to do a community effort, community project. We want to be involved.
When I started looking at the area, I realized that McDowell County doesn't have a movie theater and hasn't had one for like 6 years. So it seemed like a really big need, especially for how much I love movies and love going to the movies. If I figured I'm going to live in the area, I need a movie theater. And so I'm opening this up for me as much as for everybody else.
Another thing that we've talked about doing is sensory films for children with autism or developmental disabilities. Basically, that allows them to experience a movie in a way that's comfortable for them.
This is kind of my favorite kind of movie theater. It's kind of a bistro with an auditorium. We
also plan to incorporate food and comfort into our venue.
So there's going to be 3 different kinds of seating, 2 rows of couches in the front, several rows of regular movie theater style seats in the middle, and then up in the back, it's going to be bar stools with a bar.
The food aspect of our theater is
we're going to try a lot of different things with our menu.
We're going to do food such as pizza, wings, cheese fries, maybe like barbecue sandwiches, just like a down-home, comfortable kind of feeling. Food that you might eat at home when you watch a movie. Popcorn, obviously, sodas, candy, pretzels, all the normal stuff, as well as warm food. I mean, you could just have a whole date night here if you'd like. So just to give you guys a little bit of background about me and my wife. We grew up here, we went to high school here. We moved down to West Palm Beach, Florida. We kept coming back and forth for Christmas and holidays, and we kind of noticed that Marion had been growing, but it still didn't have a theater. When we lived in Florida, I worked for a company, a telecommunications company, and I was a network engineer. Before that, I did all sorts of video installations for them, home cinemas, real cinemas. There are people on Palm Beach Island who actually have movie theaters in their home that show movies the day they come out. It's really cool to work with that kind of stuff. Set up those servers, DCPs, all the DCI standards, and get used to all that, and then bringing that knowledge here. And we just thought to ourselves, why hasn't anyone done this? So we went to the Small Business Chamber, and we talked to them, and everything that had attempted to go through had failed. Right about that time, I was finishing up my degree in marine biology. My wife had just got her business degree, and now she's working on her MBA. We just saw this opening for us to get into and avoid something that was missing from the county, something that was missing from Marion, and something that they desperately need. Because while Marion has grown, there's still not a lot for kids to do. There's not a lot for families to do. There's a lot to do on a Friday and Saturday night, but basically only if you're over 21.
I grew up in North Carolina, in Charlotte, I went to film school in Georgia at the Savannah College of Art and Design. I came back to Charlotte for a few years, worked in various places, one of which was a series of movie theaters. They were all owned by the same chain. I learned the ropes. I started out selling popcorn and candy and then tickets, and then worked all the way up to head projectionist at a 6-screen movie theater. I did that for a year. And then I finally got a job working in commercials and eventually moved up to Washington, D.C., where I did a lot of government and corporate video and independent film, shooting movies myself. I finally decided it was time to come back to North Carolina, where my brothers live. When we came to our lawyer's office to sign the paperwork to buy the building, the mayor of Marion came in the room and shook our hands and thanked us and told us how much Marion has needed a movie theater. He even told us a heart-wrenching story about a little girl he talked to in a class who was looking so forward to a movie theater that was going up a couple years ago and then never materialized.
And this little girl's family had never been able to take her to a movie. Her family wasn't able to afford the gas and the food and the ticket price to go out of town for their whole family to go see a movie. So she's never seen a movie, and she was like in the 3rd or 4th grade. And that kind of hit home for me, because when I was a kid, man, the movie theater's where I wanted to go. So hopefully when we get open, we're gonna meet this girl, and we're gonna make sure that she gets to see a movie.
We're definitely going to make it happen. We have enough money in place for the basics to open up the doors, sell at least popcorn and drinks and candy.
So it's monumentally expensive to try and do more than one screen at a time. So at first, what we plan to do is we plan to open up one screen. This is our storefront, and our plan with GoFundMe and all the other financial sources that we're working with would be to put a screen upstairs and then eventually buy the building to the right of us, and we could put 3 or 4 screens in there, and that's our goal, is for expansion.
To be able to open up with more screens, allow more people in at a time, and more food, and better serve the community.